Hi there, and welcome to the Cotswold Explorer Wednesday poem. I'm Robin Shuckburgh, and firstly, I must thank you all for watching our poems and the kind things so many of you have said about them. We're having a great deal of fun producing them, and they're just beginning to make a little money for the Red Cross. Now, the more you can share these posts and persuade your friends to watch them, the more we'll be able to contribute to the Red Cross, so please do let everyone know. Now, several of you have suggested we read your favourite poets, so in response to that today, we've settled on the man so many of you mentioned, the great American poet Robert Frost, who wrote about rural life where he lived in New England in the early 20th century. Frost was hugely feted by his compatriots, indeed all over the world, winning 4 Pulitzer Prizes. He acquired an honorary degree from Harvard University, along with others from Bates College and Dartmouth College, as well as Cambridge and Oxford universities in the United Kingdom. Several colleges and universities have named their libraries after him. And in 1961, at the grand old age of 86, he spoke and performed a reading of his poetry at the inauguration of American President John F. Kennedy. Now, whilst Frost came from English stock, his ancestors emigrated to New Hampshire in 1634. He was born and raised in San Francisco, moving with his mother to Massachusetts after the death of his father. His poetry was first published in his high school magazine, but it was in 1913 in England that he first found a publisher for a collection of his work. He'd moved his entire family here, believing evidently correctly that the literary world in England at the time was more conducive to his chances of success. He went back to America in 1915 at the onset of the First World War, where he managed to buy a farm in New Hampshire, from where he launched his phenomenally successful career of teaching, writing, and lecturing. He died in January 1963, and on this frosty Oxfordshire day, almost exactly 60 years later, in March 2023, with a scattering of snow on the ground, I'm going to read to you an appropriate short poem called A Hillside Thaw by Robert Frost. To think to know the country, and now know the hillside on the day the sun lets go 10 million silver lizards out of snow. As often I've seen it done before, I can't pretend to tell the way it's done. It looks as if some magic of the sun lifted the rug that bred them on the floor, and the light breaking on them made them run. But if I thought to stop the wet stampede and caught one silver lizard by the tail, and put my foot on one without avail, and threw myself wet-elbowed and wet-kneed in front of 20 others wriggling speed, in the confusion of them all a-glitter, and birds that joined in the excited fun by doubling and redoubling song and twitter, I have no doubt I'd end up holding none. It takes moon for this. The sun's a wizard by all I tell, but so's the moon a witch. From the high west she makes a gentle cast, and suddenly, without a jerk or twitch, she has her spiel on every single lizard. I fancied when I looked at 6 o'clock the swarm still ran and scuttled just as fast. The moon was waiting for her chill effect. I looked at 9, the swarm was turned to rock in every lifelike posture of the swarm, transfixed on mountain slopes almost erect. Across each other and side by side they lay. The spell that so could hold them as they were was wrought through trees without a breath of storm to make a leaf, if there had been one, stir. One lizard at the end of every ray. The thought of my attempting such a stray. His imagery is amazing, and it's such fun to read. I'm sure we will return to Robert Frost during the coming weeks and months. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and please share this with as many people as possible. I'll see you in the Cotswolds very soon, and in a week's time for the next Wednesday poem. Goodbye.